Lightweight for high reps or heavyweight for low reps? That's a question lifters have argued about for decades. Some believe lightweights with high reps give you that lean, toned look. Others insist you need to push heavy to see any real growth. Instead of guessing, I decided to run my own 60-day experiment to find out the truth. For 2 months, I'll train one half of my body with light weights and the other half with heavy weights. Every set, every workout, carefully tracked. I'll take daily photos, run full scans, and show you exactly what happens. People keep joking, I'll end up looking completely lopsided by the end. But too late, day one has already started. To make it fair, I used the most scientific method possible, a coin flip. Heads meant the right side would go heavy, tails meant the left side. It landed on tails. Honestly, that might be lucky because my left side has always been weaker. Maybe the heavy training will finally bring it up to speed. From the very first workout, I noticed a difference. Heavy lifts felt awkward, almost unbalanced. Just 5 reps with 90 pounds felt way harder than expected. On the light side, the first 10 reps were easy, but by the time I hit 15, the burn was brutal. The pump was insane, but it came with a price. You might be asking, why would I risk messing up my body symmetry just for this? Well, like most people, I grew up thinking, lift big or go home. Even when my joints hurt, I avoided lighter weights because deep down, I believed they couldn't build real muscle. But recent research suggests otherwise. As long as you go to failure, lighter weights with higher reps can trigger growth too. The problem is, most of those studies are done on complete beginners and rarely test very low rep ranges. That's exactly what makes this experiment different. So here's the setup. My heavy side has to fail within 3 to 6 reps, while the light side has to fail within 15 to 30 reps. Same muscles, same number of sets, everything pushed close to failure. And to remove the guesswork, I got baseline scans with MRI, DEXA, and ultrasound. Not cheap, but this way I'll know precisely which side grows more. As expected, my dominant right side was slightly bigger at the start. After 60 days, we'll see which side grows more in size and strength. But I didn't want this to be just about me. That's why I also brought in Dennis, a complete beginner. His right bicep started out just a bit bigger, but overall he had plenty of room to grow. He followed the same plan. One side trained heavy, one side light. For him, this was going to be a true test of how beginners respond. The first workouts already showed how different the challenge is. The heavy side felt like a grind right from rep 1, tough but short. The light side felt easy at the start, but by rep 15 it felt like fire spreading through the muscles. The pump was huge, the soreness lasted longer, but the joints felt safer. Meanwhile, by week 3, both of us started noticing the toll. My heavy side left my elbow. At the halfway point, the differences became more obvious. Heavy training built strength quickly, but it also pushed my joints to their limits. On the other hand, light training gave a massive pump, left me sore for longer, and mentally wore me down with the sheer amount of reps. For Dennis, the heavy side made him stronger week by week, but the light side gave him more endurance and noticeable pumps. It was clear, each style of training builds your body in a different way. Finally, after 60 days, it was time for the results. The scans showed something surprising. On my body, the light side grew just slightly more in most muscles, especially the chest, which responded really well to high-rep training. The heavy side, however, had clear strength advantages, even though it stressed my joints more. The differences were small, sometimes only a few grams of actual muscle, not enough to be statistically significant. For Dennis, both sides grew almost evenly, with maybe a tiny edge to the light side, likely because of the extra training volume. But overall, both methods worked. So what's the big takeaway? Heavy training is great for building raw strength and power, but it comes with more joint stress. Light training gives you crazy pumps, endurance, and can be easier on the joints, but it's mentally tougher and demands pushing through the burn. In the end, the sweet spot is probably somewhere in the middle, 6 to 15 reps, moderate weight, and pushing close to failure. That's light enough to protect your joints, but heavy enough to build both size and strength. The most important lesson from this entire experiment is simple. It's not just about how much weight you use, it's about how much effort you put in, how close you go to failure, and how good your form is. If you enjoyed this experiment and want to see more science-backed training tests, make sure to hit the like button and drop a comment saying, "I want more videos like this." That way, I'll know to keep bringing you more experiments that break down the truth about fitness. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next experiment might change the way you train forever.